Content warning. This video discusses issues involving but not limiting to abuse, emotional manipulation, mental health and trauma. It is strongly recommended to not watch this video if these topics trigger you. This recommendation does not apply to my abuser and the other perpetrators of my abuse, including those that defend these people. You should all watch this to the end and reconsider your actions. Do not approach or harass anyone mentioned in this video. If anything, remove them from your life.
Two years ago, I was laying in a hospital bed in Sir Charles Gardner Hospital a couple of days after an operation to remove a infected toe due to a complication from diabetes. In the previous week and a half, I had barely eaten anything. I thought it was a flu until things had started going wrong with my toe. At this point, the only visitor, apart from my father, who just would bring, admittedly helpfully bring some fresh clothes that I needed, as the stay went from being potentially overnight to just a couple of days to over a week. He would barely speak to me during this times. That being said, he'd barely spoken to me that entire year. And the only other visitor from that was a person who I consider my family, a great friend. And on this night, I was waiting for the person to finally arrive that I've been almost quite literally dying to see since I told them I was in hospital. They were the first person I contacted after my parents that I was in hospital. I kept them informed the entire time. This was the closest person to me. Someone I had known for 20 odd years and always believed them to be one of the most kindest and gentlest souls on this planet. And for the previous 8 months since this, our friendship got a lot closer, to the point where I even told them about my deepest, darkest fear, and even words were exchanged, to the point where 2 weeks before my hospitalization, I had the happiest night of my entire life, where I was at a barbecue with her and her friends, and she spent half the night cradled up to me with her head on my shoulder and my resting comfortably on hers. And it was like quite literally the closest I've ever been to another person, physically and metaphorically. I was waiting for her to arrive so I could tell her that I loved her, because after this operation I was no longer afraid. I was no longer afraid of the repercussions. I was no longer afraid of the rejection. I knew in my heart that I had to say something, because events like this affect you. And I didn't think it could get any worse than what was currently befalling me. I couldn't have possibly been any more wronger if I tried, because 10 minutes before she was supposed to arrive, she sent me this.
Hey, Simon. I am really, really sorry. I will try to make it in tomorrow, I promise. I'm sorry, I'll explain everything tomorrow, okay? I really hope you're feeling alright. Bye.
I didn't know at the time, but this would lead to the worst 2 years of my life. Her name was Amanda. This is the day she became my abuser.
Are you fucking kidding me with this, Simon Haynes? I am a lot of fucking things, most of them not particularly great. But I am not a FUKN liar. What the hell did I do to you that was so awful that you feel it's okay to lay my personal words of trust out for public consumption? I trusted you. Wanna talk about betrayal? Really? However, I wronged you, Simon. I don't get it, but if it is so desperately bad that you feel the need to continue destroying anything left between us as friends, then you go right ahead. I can't say sorry, even though I am for something I don't even have any control over. I can't jelp how you feel or how I do. You'd love to ask why are you so full of fucking hate right now, but I actually get it. I do. So you go right ahead and hate me if you need, and you continue to punish me however you see fit. I'll take it for as long as you need if it means you get better. And when it all comes down to it and you realize in a month or two when you are calmer and can see straight that I'm still here for you no matter what, that I still want my friend even though I don't know how to make that happen right now. Hopefully when you feel I've had enough and I'm still here, I'll think better of me.
At the moment, you're probably thinking, this doesn't paint me in a pretty, well, nice picture. And yeah, without any context, it looks like I did something incredibly horrific and terrible. But that's the fun thing about context. People want to ignore it sometimes because it makes the truth harder to swallow. So before we really go in and dissect this response and show you what it truly, truly is, let's slightly back up. I got this a few days after I posted on my Facebook a fictionalized conversation between me and an alternate version of me called 10. It was me going over my mental breakdown on February 14th, where the words that Amanda had told me previously about her relationship with Link after my first mental breakdown were just haunting my head. And this is where all the lies start to come out and the truth basically reveals itself. This is what I wrote. The original, I will post a link to it so you can see it's not being edited. I will make it public. However, it is also available on my ebook. I'll post a link to that below, which again hasn't been edited. It's on page 17 of the ebook PDF. It's also available on many different ebook stores for free. Infinity is silent except for the phrase, "I know he'll hurt me," echoing throughout the cosmos. S is on his knees looking exhausted. S, I can't get it out of my head. 10, you have to move forward. S, how the hell can I move forward with that giving me psychic damage every single fucking day of my life, knowing that I'm powerless to stop it? Or worse, my only option is to walk away to stop from hurting myself. 10, then if that's what it takes, S, how
fucking could you? You're supposed to help people. Find a way there is none. Never cruel or cowardly. Doesn't that fucking mean something? 10. My function is to help and take care of you. Face the truths you want to ignore. Heal you and make you move forward. I can't control what others do, as much as you can't either. S. But what if I can? 10. We both know that's something you don't want to do. S. The only thing necessary for evil to triumph in the world is that good men do nothing. 10. He's not evil. He's an asshole, but not evil. S. Don't you think I know that? But what if I'm right? What if the worst thing happens? What if I stand my ground and lose her forever because she'll fall further than she is right now? What if I had the power to lift her out of the pit and I don't use it because of my principles? What if I'm not strong enough yet to endure her pain? Every single option I see before me is a losing one, and I don't want to lose her. I refuse to. 10. You need to work on yourself. You know this. You can't be there for her if you're not stable enough yourself. S. What if I'm too late? 10. You can't take responsibility for others' actions, even the ones that self-harm. S. No. 10. What? Like I said, no, I don't accept that. Look, let's think about this. S. That's all I've been doing. 10. Okay, settle down. S jumps up in rage. I'm done wanting to settle down. I'm already moving forward. I'm setting goals and working to achieve them. I'm doing everything that's in my control to do this, just like we discussed with my psychologist. And this is the one thing I can't control. That's the one thing that's fucking killing me. You expect me to let it do that? The silence between them is only interrupted by a phrase on constant repeat. 10. I'm trying to make you think rationally. S. Rationality can go fuck itself. Maybe it's time you went away too. 10. You know I can't do that. S. Then help me! 10. Before I can do that, you need to ask me one question and be completely honest with me. Why are you doing this? S. Takes several deep breaths, calming himself down. S. Because I love her. Because imagining what it would be without her in my life just looks like absolute darkness. Because knowing she'd rather be with some asshole who she knows will hurt her, her words, not mine, makes my soul break. I'm fine with knowing I'll never be her one true love. Again, her words. And I desperately want her to be with that person, but I know she's too scared to be with them for doing harm, which I know she won't. I'm even fine with her being with that fucking asshole if I know I'll be there. But I know she's just going to push me away again, and it fucking hurts. S takes more breaths. I know she's capable of so much love, even if she says she isn't. The fact that she wants my pathetic dumbass in her life is a testament to that. She's one of the most largest hearts of anyone I know, even though she claims she hasn't got one. I see so much darkness in her, but through that is one of the brightest sparks of any person I know on this whole goddamn planet, and that's why I'm in love with her. Her spark lights up my life so much more than anyone I've ever known, and it fucking kills me that I can't share in that with the entire fucking planet. I've taken her off the pedestal in my mind, but she still fucking towers over me, and all I want to do is make sure I can stand side by side. And I know I'm worthy. I just wish she knew how worthy she actually is too. S sits back on the floor, completely exhausted. S. She'll deny it, of course. All of it, but it's true. All of it and then some. And there probably isn't enough paper in this universe to express how much she means to me. 10. Well then, what are you going to do about it then? S. If I knew that, I wouldn't be stuck here. I know I need to heal myself, and I've been doing that, but this... How can I heal with the one thing that's keeping me from progressing? I can't give up. I refuse to give up. If I give up on love, 10, then what's the point? S. Yeah. Funny, isn't it? The one thing I can't control is the one thing that's holding me back, and the only way to control it without destroying me is by walking away. And I've already tried that. Look what price I paid for it. 10. Maybe we should channel and change Tiberius Kirk. S. Are you saying this is my Kobayashi Maru? 10. Possibly. S. I don't believe in a no-win scenario. 10. Kirk cheated through,
Plus, unless you got some unknown superpower, I doubt you can reprogram the simulation. S. I can't cheat. But maybe I can change the conditions of the scenario. 10. Oh. S. It's a long shot, but a shot not taken is a shot that always misses. 10. I guess it's a matter of when. S. When is when I'm strong enough to do this, and this week has been an absolute mental crapshoot. But soon. 10. I have your back. I can't steer. I agree, but I have your back. S. Funny, that's the opposite of what I want to say to her. 10. Despite how much you process and hate it, you know you always have her back. I know. S. I know. A token bit of resistance would be nice, though. 10. Resistance is futile. S. Wrong captain. Now, we will begin to dissect, and I'll show you just how truly, truly vicious this response actually is. I'm going to start breaking down this message. I would just like to note that I still find this message extremely triggering. Just as much now as it did when I first got it. But I'm going to do my best. Let's start with the first part. I am a lot of things, most of them not particularly great. I know what the things are she is referring to here. I will not state them, however, but the truth is, I already knew before this what she's talking about. It is not my place to discuss what she's referring to. The truth is, I already knew a lot about these things, and I still loved her, regardless of it. And I could even bring up how she definitely lied to me about a few of them. But we'll come to that. Because this next part, but I'm not a fucking liar, that is a flat out lie. Because, as I'll explain, she has lied to me more than just once. She has lied to me several, dozens, untold amount of times. And a lot of it also includes that thing I just mentioned about some of the things she refers to. In fact, I'll go with this one, because that's not necessarily a big lie, but it's still a lie. About halfway through 2022, she told me she was quitting her other job. The job that she mentioned to me was a job she knew I knew about in an industry where I can't go into specific details. The story she told me, again, I won't go into too many specifics, just seemed a bit odd. And I looked into it, because the job she was mentioning and the job she was describing don't add up. And I found what she was truly doing. And I still accepted her for what she was, because I loved her. I don't particularly care about what she does, and that job she does never came into the equation how I felt with her. She's free to do whatever she wants. I'd never judged her. I never will judge her. But she definitely lied to me about that. Interestingly enough, I found this old Facebook post from 2022. It would have been roughly around the time when she told me about her moving on from her pseudonym. She made this public. I am going to censor relevant information. I wonder how many 34 people and 20 odd comments
knew that she was lying. And she's lying about this to this day. Because she's still doing that work. And she's still using that pseudonym. This entire post is a lie. As you can see, this is being recorded on Tuesday, October 22nd. I have blurred some information for privacy's sake. However, let's go and see what's Amanda's profile do. Oh, I should note, if you want to double check the date, this is the real Elvira, posted yesterday about the Ariana Grande, whatever. And there you can see she's still advertising her services. Let me just say, this is not a condonement of the service as well. I believe that these services are good and should be supported. I'm just saying that she lied to me. This is proof that she lied to me. And if she wishes to continue in this business, all power to her. This is not to shame her for these actions. This next part's going to be very tricky, but I have to get this through. She goes about using my personal words for public consumption, and how she trusted me, and the betrayal and all that. The truth of the matter is, yeah, I guess I shouldn't have done it. But if you've actually paid attention to what I wrote, especially how I just spoke it out, it was less about what she said and about how she had hurt me through those words. It was about me talking about my mental breakdown. And yes, she did lie to me. And this is the crux of it, because she told me to my face that she wasn't in a relationship with the person who she told me she knew was going to hurt me. So, see, the crux of the matter is, when I had my first breakdown and I sent her a message telling her that I loved her and that I wanted to leave, and I knew that she was back in a relationship with her abusive ex, that's one of the things she said to me. And when I finally, and after 2 weeks of not talking to me and just constantly saying, oh, I'll talk to you and I'll talk to you, and I'll talk to you. After 2 weeks, when we finally spoke, she flat out lied to me and told me that she was not in a relationship with that person. That person she told to my face abused her. I have it on really good authority that she's not the first person he's abused as well. So she definitely lied about me. Talk about betrayal. God damn it. She could have just let me go when I asked to be let go. But no, she started abusing me and lying to me. And she kept me hanging on for 2 whole weeks. And every single mental health person I've talked to flat out tells me that act alone was abusive. So when we get to this part, it's like, however I've wronged you, that I don't get if it's so desperately bad that you feel the need to continually destroy anything left between us as friends, then you go right ahead. She did all that. She destroyed our friendship. I kept reaching out. I kept asking what is going on. I kept trying to find out why she was hurting me. Why she was lying to me. She wasn't in a relationship. She wasn't doing this. She wasn't doing that. And it was all a lie. I can't say sorry
Even though I am for something I can't even have any control over, I can't help how you feel or how I do. That's the problem. She fucking never told me how she felt. I flat out asked her if she loved me or not. And her response was, I can't give you what you want. I wanted the truth. No, I would have accepted. I was hoping she would say no. I really wanted her to say no. I really wanted to be fine. That's it. She doesn't love me. I can go about my fucking life. I could probably even be her friend. But no, she just kept lying to me. She just kept using me and leading me on. And not in that very sexist way, but quite literally, she just kept pushing me away. And every single time I move away, she kept bringing me back. And she just kept lying to me. And she kept ignoring me. She was the one who destroyed our relationship. She wanted me there, but she kept pushing me away. She wanted me to be in a fucking cardboard box. She wanted me to be It's like she wanted me to be just a fucking backup boyfriend. But she didn't even fucking love me. She didn't even care for me. So, why are you so fucking hate right now? I wasn't full of fucking hate. I was in love with her. I fucking loved her. I never even said until this year that I hated her. And I hate her now because of all the shit she's done for me for the last 2 fucking years. Beyond 2 fucking years. The entirety of 2022 was just a fucking lie. And 20 years before that, 20 years of friendship was just a fucking lie. She used me to get what she fucking wanted. I get it. No, she doesn't. So you go right ahead and you hate me and you continue to punish me however you see fit. All this, pretty much right from here on, most of this message is about her turning herself into the victim when she's been the perpetrator. All this is gaslighting. That part about why you're so full of fucking hate, that is her gaslighting me. And it's not even the first time she gaslighted me. If you haven't read my book, when we finally had our talk, she said to my face that I was only interested in having sex with her. Her words. I can't even begin to tell you how fucking wrong that was. How wrong on a level that she said it to me, and how wrong on a level of that's what I wanted. She told me, this is what you want. This is literally textbook definition gaslighting. She tried to tell me how I was think and thought about it and I felt about it, and it was wrong. I came out as ace over a year ago. I told her to her face that, well, yeah, it would have been nice. I didn't care about that. I was in love with her. I didn't want to fuck her. For the 8 months that we were seeing each other regularly, going out and doing something, I never once made a pass at her. I wasn't even the one who initiated any kind of physical contact with her. She was the one who always wanted to hug me. She was the one who always put her shoulder on me. I never initiated contact. I don't even like hugging people that much. How is it that the only reason I kept hanging around with her like over a year was to fuck her when I never even attempted to? Tell me that's not fucking deliberately telling me how I feel. Tell me that's not fucking gaslighting. In fact, I just recently realized one of the most cruel and vicious and seemingly random things she said to me in January when we met face to face is a part of this. She said to me, you can't even look into the eyes of the person you love when you're talking to them. You don't understand why this is really upsetting is because I'm neurodivergent. I've been diagnosed with ADHD, and I definitely have some degree of autism, specifically the uncomfortableness of trying to look someone in the eyes. So what she said to me was incredibly ableist, as well as very mean and cruel. Why this is important? Because, even though she said this before, the gaslighting, where she specifically told me what my emotions were, this was the setup to explain to me, I guess, is the best way I could describe it, why I'm not in love with her. So this is also part of that gaslighting. She's trying to explain to me why I don't love her. Why this is also very upsetting to me is because this isn't just a new phenomenon between me and her. It's, it's something I do with most people. It's difficult. But for 20 years of our friendship, this was never an issue. For the entirety of 2022, all that 8 months we spent together, it was never an issue. And then all of a sudden, she's using this thing to tell me that I can't love her or I don't love her. What really kind of killed me is seeing someone I love say something so cruel. Having those words come out of their mouth. But even back then, it didn't sound like something she would say. In fact, I heard Amanda, and I saw Amanda say those words to me. The voice I heard was Link. That's the kind of cruel, vicious shit he would fucking say. And it's one of the reasons I believe she turned into my abuser. It was because of him.
And you know what the real hypocrisy is? You had a go at me for not being able to look you in the eye when I'm talking to you. You won't even speak to me face to fucking face. Especially after I told you that you hurt me and you didn't even bother to try and attempt to fix this. So fuck you. Fuck your ableism and fuck your hypocrisy. How dare you?
Do you want to know what is the most gross piece of gaslighting she did that day? It was about this post right here. This post, I confronted her about this post. This is the post that caused my mental breakdown. My first mental breakdown, I should add. This is the post where I realized that everything she said to me about always being there, caring about me, loving me, adoring me, all that other bullshit was a complete lie. That she abandoned me while I was in hospital to go back to this fucking prick abusing asshole. And on the day that I saw this, my heart would not stop racing. I could not get to sleep that entire night. My brain was on fire because I knew for a fact that she had gone back to that fucking prick. And if you've not read my book, I censored that smug fucking grinning shithead with her lovely little asshole. Because, frankly, I hate looking at his fucking face. And you shouldn't have to either. Trust me, the little pink icon is a lot more better to look at. As you can see, someone who's a friend of Amanda's said that she's a lucky lady. And she replied, she certainly is. When I confronted her with this, she told me, oh, It's because she was having a meal. I immediately called bullshit on that. Well, okay. I immediately thought bullshit on that, and I knew there was not much point arguing. Because look at that photo. Well, for starters, there's no food in front of it. This isn't someone who is lucky that she's eating. This is someone who thinks she's a lucky lady because she's with someone. I'm not even going to use that word. Yeah. I was going through emotional fucking torture. I was going through something deeply traumatic. And that this is what she was doing. I had reached out to her several times at this stage. I reached out after I saw this and asked if I could catch up. I used the even excuse of dropping off a Christmas present. This is a couple days before Christmas. And she's like, no, just come over for the Boxing Day when all the friends are going to get together at the barbecue. So yeah, I got relegated to just a friend at the barbecue. The only woman who's ever told me she loved me. The woman who keeps telling me that she adores me and all this other bullshit. The woman who keeps telling me she's going to be there for me. I had a full-on mental breakdown and she just ran off and didn't give a shit. To make matters worse, when I had my public breakdown a couple of days later on Christmas, I will say mutual acquaintance who did not end their relationship with Amanda on good terms was at least concerned enough about me and tried to contact me. I had already put my phone on silent and left it in another room because I was fucking distraught. I didn't want to talk to a single fucking person. I was in a fucking bad place. I even had the police called on me to give me a wellness check. Someone I now know who it is. My friend, despite being very uncomfortable, called Amanda directly to let her know that I was having a breakdown, and even though I had not told him about my feelings towards her, knew enough to realize that she is who I was talking about, and told her flat out. And you know what she did? If you pretty much guessed by now, she did nothing. When I finally confronted her about this, she said, she fucking said, "Oh, I knew you had other people to help you out." At this stage, I had tried to talk to so many goddamn fucking people, and everyone was too fucking busy. And it wouldn't have mattered a fucking damn because the only person I wanted to talk to was her. She never gave a single fuck. So yeah, she lied to me about this. She knew I had this mental breakdown. I even messaged her to try and talk to her. She wouldn't fucking talk to me. She caused both my mental breakdowns over this piece of shit. Oh, it gets worse. She said she wasn't in a relationship with this guy. This fucking asshole. Yeah, guess whose present that one is? And that's at her place. I know that for a fact. As you can see, all three of my abusers are in this image. This is the present for someone she's not in a relationship with. Yeah, I know when I'm in a relationship with someone, I don't do fancy packaging with ribbons and bows and doing their name in fancy gold ink and putting it at the fucking dead center of a tree. I don't do that when I'm in so many non-relationships. Every single one of my relationship is not a relationship. So I must have presence everywhere. This just goes to show how much of a fucking liar she truly is. She tried to gaslight me into telling me that I wasn't in love with her and I just wanted to fuck her. I'll be honest, I know who told her that. You can see his fucking asshole on the fucking photo. At this point, I was going to talk about the love bombing that Amanda did during the time I asked to not be contacted, where she kept repeating those three phrases: I have never lied to you, I care about you, and I'll always be there for you. And variants therein. One of the last messages she ever actually sent me started off with, I never lied to you, and ended with, I care about you and I'll always be there for you. And of course, she stopped talking to me. She didn't even give me the dignity of a goodbye, proving herself to be an absolute fucking liar as well. And of course, all I've got is just these things of her unsending all these messages to me. And so I guess I'm stuck, because how can I prove these are the things she says? You can take my word for it, but no, I am honest enough to at least say I have no evidence that she said these things. Even especially because every single time those three phrases came up, when I was at the worst after my second breakdown that she caused, it triggered me more and more and more. The fact that she just kept on refusing to try and talk to me and sort this out, she just ignored me. And then I found a smoking gun. So while I was in hospital, she made a joke about stalking me. I can't remember the exact phrasing of it, but it was something along the lines of, hello, this is your daily stalker. And she's obviously deleted that. Now, it's easy to make an assumption at this point and say, well, obviously, she didn't want me to at least have a screen grab of her talking about how she was going to stalk me. I can't, in good faith, make that argument. However, if I were going to make that argument, I would provide the full context. Because we both know, Amanda and I, know that that was a joke. Because if you look at the actual full conversation, she talks about stalking me. I respond, that's when she makes the joke. And I respond with the clip from Van Wilder, which she acknowledges. Oh, okay, so that's, I guess that's just not really much evidence at all. Except this is not the first time we've both made that joke to each other. Now, I'll be fair, obviously in this screenshot, I have unsent a message here, and what it was actually a broken link of the post that I did send. Like, she literally made a joke about, being my stalker, and I'm jokingly sent her credit card details, which is, unfortunately, a joke from Gray and Lineham's IT crowd about the emergency number. It's my go-to number whenever someone wants a credit card. Funny enough, people don't get that. There's more numbers there than it should be. And there's other examples of the times one of us has made a joke about stalking each other. So yeah, I know it was joking, she knows joking, so why delete it? I think that's part of everything. She deleted all the message that she didn't want me to use. Again, I can't say that this is true. However, what makes this odd is there's a bunch of messages that she could have easily deleted. She could have deleted this very abusive message I've been using as the focal point of my argument. I've got plenty of other times she's messaged me with similar phrases and stuff. I chose the most egregious one because I really wanted people to realize just how much of a terrible person she can be. I wanted to believe that this was written by someone else, but the more I reread all this stuff, and it's her syntax, it's her writing style, it's got all the earmarks of all her spelling mistakes, except that at this point she had never spoken to me like this, and she chose to turn herself into the victim. I think that's honestly the thing that sickens me the most. I think she knew what she had done, and she tried to make me take the blame for it, just like she did when I said that she wasn't there for me, which she wasn't, and her response is, I'm a bad friend. And she's even tried to use her lack of apology against me. Amanda is a terrible person. The thing is, all the rest of this, I'm not going to bother, because it's all just turning herself into the victim, like I was the great perpetrator and I did everything wrong. I was the one that kept trying to salvage our relationship. I was the one who kept asking her to talk to me so we could figure this fucking thing out. I was the one who was always trying to fucking fix this. And she just makes it out like I am the fucking villain here. And then I still kept reaching out. And you know what the worst part is? After I got this, after that message I wrote on my private Facebook, I reached out to her best friend, Pete. And he told me that she was angry at me for making her look like a battered wife. Nothing about the betrayal. Nothing about how I wronged her. No, it was all about how I made her look into the quote-unquote public. See, here's the thing. I know she's lied to me. But there's one person on the fucking planet I know she'll never lie to, and that is Pete. If you've read the thing, that's the one, True Love, by the way. Pete was the one that told me that he, quote, had been helping her and that abusive prick for months. We're talking mid-February at this point, towards the end of February. And I knew those two long before she even admitted it to me. We're together long before that. My fucking breakdown is realizing that she fucking threw me away and took up with that piece of trash. Then I realized something. She didn't replace me with him. She replaced him with me. Because I was kind. I was safe. She took someone who did nothing but be kind to her and tried to hold her up, who loved and respected her. And then she threw me to the fucking gutter. And then when I broke down, she was never there. I set a boundary, and she accepted that boundary, that she would always be honest with me. And she's never been honest to me a single day in her fucking life. Except twice. When she told me that her current boyfriend abused her, and that Pete was the love of her life. I asked to be left alone for a month. I told Pete I wanted her out of my life permanently. At that time, when we spoke, he convinced me to stay. He told me, and I shit you not, to quote him, she'll always be there for you. Except she wasn't, and we'll get into that. And that's not the only manipulation Pete did to me. I've made another video where I go into that. He even tried to manipulate me. He told me, it'll never happen, implying that she would never love me. So I gotta wonder, did she tell him when she said to me that she loved me? If there's one person on the fucking planet I know she would talk to about this stuff, it would be him. And I still question if he knew. Up until that asshole re-entered her life, I would have said he was full of shit. But now, I don't care if it's manipulation or not. It doesn't matter anymore. We get to the message that caused my second mental breakdown. Because right off the bat, she fucking lies to me right here about not knowing what fucking day it was. When I flat out told her what day it was, and then I was petrified of having a mental breakdown, and that's why I needed to talk to her. I need to figure out what the hell was going on between us, because she would not talk to me. After our one talk, where she promised she'd talk to me more, every single time I saw her, she was always with another person, always with Pete. Every single time I tried to message her or SMS or anything like that, she either ignored me or she just sent me a message. She promised to catch up with me, and then she never fucking did. She'd always cancel. And I was at my wit's end. I was so close to breaking down, and I knew I was going to do that. And this is why this really hurts to keep reading. Because she keeps saying, oh, you always have my friendship and support. Always it, right there. And then she goes, I don't know how to act or what to do or say. I feel like I'm in a very precarious position where anything I do will destroy you. And I don't want to lose my friend or hurt he. And she pins the blame on herself. Oh, always progress. And I feel like I'm going to be blamed or responsible no matter what I do or don't do right now. Well, guess what? She didn't do anything. Obviously. She didn't do a fucking goddamn thing. I flat out told her that I am scared about having a mental breakdown. And she did fucking nothing. She didn't comfort me. She didn't talk to me. She didn't listen to me. She did fucking nothing. She was telling me about how she wants to keep our friendship. She did nothing to keep our friendship. I was the one who did all the fucking work to maintain this friendship, and she did nothing. I was the one who was always trying to contact her. I was the one who gave it fucking everything. And she didn't do a single goddamn fucking thing. She talks about not wanting to lose a friend. She didn't have a friend. She had... I don't know what I was to her. I was more of a fucking tool or a drug I was a fucking patsy. I was not a friend to her. She didn't give a care a fucking single shit. And she definitely lied about her relationship with that fucking asshole. Especially how she used the weasel words like kinda dating, somewhat involved with, and even saying which you know, when she flat out told me to my face that they are not in a relationship. And then fucking Pete confirmed to me several days after my breakdown that he'd been helping them. He'd been helping their relationship, quote, for a few months. So, again, her whole bullshit about that post at the restaurant and how, oh, it's just about the food was a complete lie. And she's still dating that fucking prick. Yeah. If this point you still think she's not a liar, I don't know what else I can say to convince you. Oh, I got plenty more of her lies. One of them is incredibly fucking damning. But I will not say it out loud on here, out of respect for the people involved. But if, Amanda, you listen to this, you know which one I'm talking about. Yeah, I know the real truth behind that one. I know how that friendship ended.
The truth. Oh boy. What is the truth, huh? The truth is, I'm not sure if I want to... I'm sure if I want to do this outro or not. I've been thinking about doing it for a while. All the different ways I wanted to finish this, from righteous fury to trying to expose all the lies to egging Amanda to come back into my life. And the truth is, I'm just exhausted. I'm physically, mentally, and emotionally exhausted from having to deal with the last 2 years of my life and all the trauma that has been inflicted upon me. And I'm sick of trying to be the better person and reach out and try and appeal to the person that I thought she was. But I found no evidence to say that she's changed. I found no evidence that she's ever been remorseful for what she did to me. Every single one of her messages always framed her as the victim. She never took any responsibility for hurting me, especially when I flat out told her. So I was always the one that tried to reach out and tried to talk and tried to fix this, and she never did. That's the facts of this. I want to believe this isn't her, but I've eliminated all the impossible, and the improbable is true. She abused me. I want to believe that it's that fucking arsehole's influence. But even if that is true, she was still the one that did it all to me. She was the one that told me lies. And I cannot forgive that. I've given her every single second, every single benefit of the doubt. I've tried to figure out any sort of other plausible explanation. But the truth is, she's just an abuser. That's just factual now. She constantly lied to me. She constantly used me, then threw me away. She never gave a shit about what I thought or felt. And this dates back to before that fucking asshole came back into her life. The amount of times when she would say we should go and do a thing, and I'd agree, and then I'd put off plans only to find out that she'd gone without me. Like, remember that Van Gogh? That exhibition, the interactive one, that I kept on saying, hey, we gotta go. Shall we book tickets? Shall we go? Can we go? Yeah. When you were free, I kept on trying to do that. Turns out she went without me. She went without me. That happened several times. When I was at my worst after my mental breakdown, when she just kept on every couple of days just assuring me that she's thinking about it. She went to the movies with the asshole because he was a little sad.
basically doing the thing she did for me with Lightyear. You know, the day when she told me she fucking loved me. And it was all a lie. Never mind. She kept getting me to download things like movies and TV shows, promising me we'll watch them together. And then I'd find out from her a few weeks later, oh yeah, I watched that, it was really good. I'm like, she wondered why I got pissed off at that. It's like, she kept on avoiding me. That's what she kept on doing. She kept on pushing me away. And then when I went to go leave, because she made me feel like garbage and just kept on ignoring me, she pulled me back. She manipulated me back, and then I finally had to I just snapped. She kept pushing me away, pulling me back, pushing me away, pulling me back. She broke my brain. She broke the only fucking thing that I had going for me. Look at me, look at me. No fucker is attracted to this. Turns out she was one of those as well. She used me. Truth is, it was all bullshit. I can't find any evidence that she actually cared about me. She kept saying she did. She kept telling me she's never lied to me, that she'll always be there for me. All three of those things were never true. The only woman in my entire life that actually made me feel loved and made me feel wanted, who actually told me she loved me. It was all a fucking lie. What does that say about me? The truth is, I still love her. I hate her. Every time I see a photo of her, I get angry and anxious. I feel my stomach churn. Because I think about everything she's fucking done to me and how she just threw me away. Like I never fucking mattered. And now I just know she never wanted me to begin with. I was just a fucking thing to use until the real person she wanted in her life. That fucking abusive prick. All my happy memories of her, they're all bullshit. The truth is, I want her back. I want to know that these last 2 years were wrong, were misunderstanding, were something else, were just that the pain I ever went through was just not just a bad dream, was just anything but what was truth is, she's never going to be a part of my life ever again. Because I only have one condition. If she ever wants to come back into my life, that asshole is not a part of hers from now until forever. If that prick ever comes back into her life, I'm out. So that being said, I'm going to do something I've never done before. I am going to curse you, Amanda. I'm going to curse you to keep what you've wanted. You and that prick. I curse both of you to spend the rest of your lives together. And it's going to be long. I want you to spend the rest of your fucking lives, the long ass lives, together, tied together. And I want every single person you know to finally realize what a fucking piece of shit you truly are. Yes, including Pete. I want Pete to leave you, and I want every one of your fucking friends and family to realize how much of a fucking piece of shit you are. And that the only person in your life is that fucking asshole for the rest of your days. I curse you with that long life and being tied to that fucking hip with that piece of crap. Because you belong together. May you live in interesting times. The woman I love is dead. She probably never even existed. I've used the one thing in my fucking life to hurt me. The one thing I wanted. You used it to destroy me. And I'll never forgive you for that. And I'll always hate you for that. Anymore. Why the fuck?